Hello, it's Chantal here. So I've come to you with another video, and this one is going to be titled Early Bird Catches the Worm. So why is this? Well, the Easter weekend has just ended, and a couple days ago I was at the supermarket. The chap behind me was desperately looking for some Easter eggs, the chocolate kind, and couldn't find any anywhere. So apparently they'd pretty much sold out just about everywhere, or there might have been some remaining that maybe weren't quite what he'd hoped for. But as I said, that was literally 2 days before Easter, and they'd already sold out. So it made me think about some other situations that are maybe a little bit more dire, let's say. For example, a few weeks ago, I was having a discussion with a friend and colleague of mine, and we were talking about essentially tax efficiency, and more specifically, we were talking about avoiding to go in the next income bracket. So, in other words, avoiding to pay more tax than maybe was necessary. So we were having that discussion, and I told him about some dividends that I'd taken from the company and then paid back into the company, because what happened is in 2020, as you know, obviously that was the year of COVID, and when the pandemic hit, I suddenly found that I had money that was in my personal bank account that really, through us being in a lockdown, etc., I didn't get to spend that money. So it was actually a whole lot better for me to be putting back that money into my business account this time. Therefore, I was, avoiding to pay too much tax. And he didn't believe me, or it's not quite that, but, he just said, well, I've asked my accountant and I wasn't able to do it. And here is the crucial point. I actually asked my accountant in due time, and so I was able to pay that money back from my personal account to my business account. Whereas my friend, who, as he said himself, likes to wait until the last minute and just do things at the 11th hour, he wasn't able to do that because he had missed that deadline. He was too late. So unfortunately for him, he had the right idea, but it didn't quite come to him at the right time, and he ended up essentially being liable for a greater tax bill. So that is going to HMRC. Also, I wanted to talk about another example. Now, this time it's impacted me directly, unfortunately, and it's to do with the EICR certificate, which maybe some of you are familiar with. Basically, it's an electrical installation certificate that needs to be issued in certain conditions. Now, the fact that it's about electrical certificates is neither here nor there. It may not apply to each and every one of you watching this video. What's important, though, is the fact that even so, I was aware of this coming change. I thought to myself, I'll just wait until later on and I'll do it closer to the effective date for the change. That was a mistake. What happened is a lot of people to whom this change applied to, other people in the same situation as myself and also as my husband, had the similar idea, which was to wait until that deadline was nearly upon us. And so it created an effect where there was essentially a lot of demand and little supplies in terms of the number of electricians available. And so inevitably, the prices went north, the prices went up, in some cases actually quite considerably. And so, the type of work that ordinarily wouldn't necessarily have cost a great deal of money, suddenly, the electrical companies were quoting like much greater amounts. And it's just one of those things, because it's a legal requirement, because that we had to comply with. We basically felt like we were at the mercy of those companies, and with so few of them, it wasn't very easy getting quotes from different companies in order to be able to compare. So again, there was a lesson, and the fact of the matter is, if I had acted upon this sooner, maybe when I first found out about this new regulation coming into play, or shortly after, realistically, I would have probably been able to save myself at least £1,000, maybe even more. So here it is what it is, but again, it's just a lesson for the future. So essentially, I'm now of the idea that if something can be acted upon immediately, then it's probably a good thing to at least get the ball rolling, not necessarily to see it through to completion, but to get that ball rolling, to whether it's to get information or to contact different companies, to maybe get some quotations, etc. A lot of them, they're actually valid for maybe 6 months or so. It's not the same with every company, but it does offer a little bit of leeway, and it does offer peace of mind as well, because personally I found it quite nerve-wracking when I'm getting really, really close to a deadline and the stuff that needs doing hasn't been done. So that was it for today, and again, the lesson there was early bird catches the worm. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.